Tell me what happened this afternoon.
Me and my son left McDonald's around 12:10 in the afternoon, and we were pulling up on 1314 coming towards Porter Heights. And I stopped. There was a stop sign in front of Porter High School, and there was a school bus in front of me, and I was in the right-hand lane, and there were other cars in the left-hand lane. Three cars sitting beside me. And when I pulled up, I saw a black Tahoe, and I looked over, and there were two guys staring straight into my car. And I didn't think anything of it, so I just kept going. Well, when the light turned green, I went to go get around the school bus, and when I pulled out, I pulled in front of the other cars, and I went to go get around, and then I was okay. Well, then I saw in my rearview mirror that a black Tahoe swerved over into the left-hand lane and then swerved right behind me into the right-hand lane. And he was really, really close to my car. So I decided to get over into the left-hand lane in front of the school bus. And when I did, he pulled over into the left-hand lane right behind me, like a foot from my car. So I was like, okay, well, let me pull over into the right-hand lane again. So I did, and he did the exact same thing. So I was kind of scared that he wouldn't go around me, and I don't know why. So I started to slow down. I slowed down to about 45 when the speed limit's 55. And I slowed down, and cars kept passing, and he wouldn't get over. There were clear spots he could have got over and drove around. And then, so I decided I'm going to pull over and call 911. So I pulled into the middle lane. I stopped my car completely. He got over right behind me, stopped his car completely. There's two guys in there in the Tahoe, and they stopped right behind me. And when I was dialing 911, and I got scared, so I decided to let me drive again. So I pulled over into the lane, and I started driving, and that's when they swerved around, and they pulled up, and I saw the driver with his window down. He put the gun barely out the window and started shooting at my car. He shot 3 times at my car on the passenger side where my son was sitting in the back seat, and he hit the back window, and he hit the side of my passenger door, the back door, and it hit, and it didn't go through, but that's right where my son was sitting. So then I was on the phone with 911 right as it happened, and I said, I'm getting shot at, I don't know what's going on. She said, okay, and we were talking. Well, then I thought I need to get his license plate. So they're in front of me a good ways now, so I speed up, I'm going, and I'm trying to catch him, and that's when a guy stood out from his sunroof of the Tahoe. He stood out with a gun. It must have been the passenger, because they were driving too fast, and they stood out and they shot at least 5 times. And that's when I got scared. I couldn't get the license plate because I didn't want to follow them anymore, because I had my son in the car. So I pulled over, and the lady on 911 told me, you need to drive to a gas station. I said, okay, well, Old Houston Ice House is right here, let me just stop there. So I pulled in there, and that's when the police officers showed up and took care of everything.
Any more description on a black Tahoe? I mean, colored wheels, any stickers, anything that stood out that you noticed?
I know that it was just a regular Tahoe, not a new one, not a super old one. I know that the tires, they look dark, but they're not clean, so there was a dirty. And it has sunroof, it was dark windows. They had their 2 windows rolled down, and the sunroof was open as well. But that's about it.
What about the guys? Did you get a good look at them at all, or what'd you see in them? Could you tell anything about the guys?
I saw the driver had a dark shirt, and the sides of his head were kind of really short. His hair was short, and then the top had a little bit more hair on it. And he looked like he was taller than the guy sitting next to him, because the guy sitting next to him was sunk down in the seat, and his head was completely shaved. I think he was wearing a lighter color shirt, and then I don't know much else.
Kind of scared, shook up a little bit.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? I mean, what was running through your mind? You get your little one in the back seat, glass shattered.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that this happened. Like, I don't know who they are. I've never seen them. I've worked at plenty of places in Porter and never have seen anybody like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. I just was worried. I was more concerned with, oh my God, is my son hit? But he wasn't screaming, so I knew, no, he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I kept driving. I wanted to get their license, but I was on the phone, so I didn't think to take my phone down and take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured that, there's pictures at stoplights. That school bus could have had a camera on it. I mean, gas stations we drove by, they could have had cameras,
Okay.
So,
So still shook up tonight?
yeah, and I have to go to work, so.
Great.